Here we go. Yes, Malak. It's funny. Yes, no. Tomorrow is a big day for you guys. Like tomorrow is not where energy is going to wind down, where you're going to wind down your week. Tomorrow is where it all starts for you. Literally, 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 if you've never done this before, you are going to embark on what is going to be a life-changing journey. It's going to be life-changing. Those of you who have done it before, you know what you're in for. You know what you're going to expect. Oops, sorry. What did I do? No. Here's the thing with one of the differences between diets and detoxing as a way of life. Like I said, diets are temporary. You do them for a short period of time and then you're done. But when you go on a diet, and I've done every single diet under the sun ever since I was 23. I only stopped when I became a health coach at 39. Every single diet you could think of. I never repeated the same diet because they were so awful. I never wanted to even, every time I'd finish one, I'd be done with it. I'd get the results because, you know, just literally just power through a diet, but I never went back and repeated the same diet twice because I never in my mind wanted to go back to those feelings of deprivation in that diet. I would go find another diet because I thought that another diet would be, you know, the next best thing, you know, sort of what they call bright, shiny object syndrome or whatever it is. You're always looking for the next best thing, not realizing that all the diets were basically at their core the same, just restriction, restriction, restriction. And because every time was just restriction, I never wanted to go back. When I was done, I was done. I was like, don't take me back to this torture ever again. I would go back, I would go find a different kind of torture, it was packaged differently, but at the core, it was the same kind of torture. But the difference between then when I started detoxing and there are times, I've been doing this for 10 years, so it's a journey. And there are definitely times at the beginning, like definitely when I was where all of you are at right now, when you're doing it for the first time, definitely when I was done with my first detox, and even though I was feeling amazing, yeah, there was a part of me, I was like, oh, okay, I did it. It was still diet mindset, right? It takes a long time to undo that mindset. Can't wait to go and have a burger. I can't wait to go and have a pizza or whatever it was. And then you feel awful because what the detox has done to your body is completely different than what a diet does to your body. And it's part of the process, by the way. So don't feel like it's about perfection here. Part of the process is going to be when you're complete, when you're done, is for you to, everybody backtracks because healing is about a few steps forward and one step back. It has to be that way. You need to backtrack. You need to go and have the burger or the pizza or the bread or the cheese or whatever it is for you and see how your body reacts so you can be reminded that it's these kinds of foods that got you to where you are today. And that's what's going to motivate you to keep going. And that's the difference because in a diet, you never want to go back to that restriction. With a detox, your body craves, like those of you who are here again, your body craves going back to how it feels when you're clearing out all the junk, when you're clearing out all the toxins. It's a completely different experience. You're not relieved when you're done with a detox, the way that you're relieved when you finish that last day of your diet or you stop going to the nutritionist and you don't have to see them anymore because you've reached your goal weight. It's a completely different experience. Even when you have days where you're not eating optimally healthy, your gut is telling you, right, get back on it. You know, you want to feel good. You know, you want to feel better, but we're human beings. We're human beings who for all of our lives, 30 plus years, we ate in a certain way. And that's many, many, many years that you are going to unprogram and unlearn and relearn and keep doing all the evolution that you're going to be doing in this process. So be kind to yourself in this process. It's not the end of the world when you're done with this and you go and eat out, or when you go on vacation, or at whatever level you're going to reincorporate some of the inflammatory foods that we've removed, you're going to, over time, really, really strengthen your digestive system. For some of you, it might take a month or two. I know for me, I strengthened it. And then as I just went through life, as I got older, your body changes. When I hit my mid 40s, it's when the hormonal changes started to happen. So all the healthy stuff I used to eat, the eggs, the meat, the chicken, the good fats, coconut oil, all of that stopped working. So you have to keep yourself open to, it's a fact that what is working for you today might not work for you in 5 years. And what worked for you 5 years ago might not be working for you today. And it's not because you're doing something wrong. And it's not because your body is breaking down. It's because, especially as women, we have so many different phases in our lives. And each phase requires a tweaked way of eating. That's not to say at some point it's ever going to be okay to eat inflammatory foods. We've established the inflammatory foods are at the root cause of all chronic conditions. Believe it or not, I do speak to people, I do speak to women, men and women who tell me, I'm okay with getting sick. And that's their choice. Who am I to tell them that they need to change their mind? And so lots of people believe that it's just built into their genetics. And no matter how much I try to explain that, yes, genetics plays a part. If your mom has diabetes, if your dad has high blood pressure, if your dad has heart disease, which is basically what both of my parents have, gallbladder issues, heart disease, diabetes, thyroid, like literally laundry list, it doesn't mean that you're going to get it. If you make the decision that you want to eat and live exactly the same way that your parents did, then chances are high you're going to end up with the same illnesses. That's just how it is. That's how genetics play out. You inherit the genetics, but you also inherit the habits. So it's not like I'm just going to be constipated for the rest of my life because all the women in my family have constipation. Yes and no, but also all the women in your family all eat the same way. That's what you inherited, the eating habits from all the women in your family, or from the way that your parents eat or drink or move or think or live their life. You've inherited all of that along with the genes that you can't see. The only way your genes are going to manifest, and this is something that actually has been proven scientifically, the science of epigenetics, is if you do exactly what they've done. Then the genes are just going to, we call it the gun. Your genes are a loaded gun, but what's going to pull the trigger is your lifestyle, what you eat and what you drink and how you live. If you decide to do things completely differently as you are now, there's no reason for you to end up with diabetes. There's no reason for you to end up with high blood pressure, because those are all diseases of lifestyle. You might have the gene, you might have the predisposition, but if you don't do the things that erode the specific organs that lead to this specific condition, it's not going to happen. And beyond even that, epigenetics is starting to prove that, let's say you're a young woman, childbearing age, and some of you here most of us here are done with childbearing, thankfully. If you're in childbearing age, and you are carrying certain genes from your parents, you can turn off those genes before getting pregnant and passing them on to your unborn child. That's how strong it is. So, but you get to decide, like everybody gets to choose. Do I want to change my life? Do I not care? I just want to keep eating the foods and whatever happens, happens. Everybody has the right to choose. And it might seem, just incomprehensible that people would choose and just accept that they're going to be sick, but it is their choice. You have taken a different decision. You are, at the very least, if you're not 100% convinced that you're going to prevent all the diseases in your family from happening to you, you are at least opening yourself up. And that's what I keep saying. Open yourself up to the idea. Open yourself up to the opportunity and see where it takes you. You can never really make a concrete decision, I don't think, unless you try. Go through the process. So whatever doubts you're having today, because tomorrow is it. Tomorrow is, what do we call it? What do you call it? You're about to start something. You're about to start something. This is where the brain is like, oh my God, it's real. Oh my God, she's not kidding. Oh my God, the fridge is ready. Oh my God, she threw out the junk. Oh my God, she's already decreasing her coffee. I only have a few hours to convince her not to do this. So your brain might still be on overdrive. And if it is, I want to remind you of something really, really important as women. All of you here are one or more of the above. Moms, wives, daughters, sisters, colleagues, friends, all of it. All of these roles that you play every single day. And there isn't a single one of those roles where you have ever told yourself, I can't do this. Never. You've never gone to work and been asked to perform a task at work or been asked to complete a project with a certain deadline, and you just looked at your boss and said, yeah, I don't think so, or maybe, or, you know, I hope I can do it. You had no option. The option is you're going to do it. The only option is it's going to be complete. The only thing you know is that when this deadline comes, I'm done with the work, I presented it, and I've done it in the best way that I can. When one of your children is ill, or one of your children has to stay up all night because they're not feeling well, and the next day you have to wake up and do everything that you have to do you walk in on your ill child saying, yeah, I don't know, I don't feel like it today, like this is just too hard, yeah, I'll just leave you to be sick on your own, I have to wake up tomorrow and do other things? Never. Or if your child has a problem at school, or if your spouse is going through something, like you're there and you do everything successfully. You never doubt yourself. Even if you're struggling in these areas of your life, there isn't this doubt like it's impossible or like I can't do it. So the only difference between all of those areas of your life and your health are two main things. One, you just haven't learned to take the same skill set that you apply to everything else in your life and apply it to your health. And then the other thing, of course, is all the conditioning and programming we have around our health. The conditioning is you're going to break down. The conditioning is you are powerless around your health. The conditioning is the only way that you can get better is to outsource your health to someone else. It leaves you helpless. It leaves you powerless. It leaves you feeling like anything that happens to your body is just random. It's just up to the genetics. It's just up to, am I lucky or not lucky? It's just up to things happen. Like I have no responsibility. So it leaves you powerless and it leaves you unable and not realizing that you have a responsibility. But we know, and we know because thousands of my clients have done it. You're going to do it. Thousands and thousands of people around the world. Do I say millions? I don't know about millions. Hundreds of thousands, at least, people around the world have healed themselves 100% naturally from the smallest things, right? From lack of energy, insomnia, headaches, all the way up to cancer. They've done it naturally. Again, you get to choose, but this is knowledge, and knowledge is empowering, and you get to know that you have a choice, and you get to know that the conditioning that you're powerless around your health, that's just conditioning, because you're not powerless anywhere else. So why would you be powerless around your health? If you can do anything else in any area of your life, you can do it in your health also. All right, ladies, I'm going to open it up for all your questions today. So take it away. Who wants to go first? No questions? Oh, there it is. Delia, go. Unmute yourself, please, and go ahead.
Hi, Dana.
Yes.
Hi. I wanted to ask, it's a stupid question.
No stupid questions, remember.
No stupid questions, I know. Can I have cold water in the morning instead of warm with the lemon elixir, or is it not?
Cold as in out of the refrigerator or room temperature?
Yes.
I don't see why not. I don't see why not. Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thanks. You're welcome. Anybody else? You guys are all set to go for tomorrow? Like everything's ready? No questions? You know the process inside out? That's amazing. That's actually amazing. Wow. Okay. No, not one single question. So let's do a check-in. Do you have your recipes for breakfast, lunch, dinner? Do you have your lavender and peppermint essential oils for when you get those detox withdrawal symptoms? Did you think about your bigger why for the detox? Have you done all of those things? If you have, put your hand up, say yes. Amazing. Amazing. Yes. Okay. Those of you who didn't put your hands up, and I'm not like, you know, like, what is it? Like singling anybody out. But those of you who didn't put your hands up, let me know why. What do you still need to do before tomorrow? Mariam, to be honest, I haven't done any of this. Mariam, but Mariam, you're also like, this is not your first time, right? If you are somebody coming into this from the September round, you might not be doing necessarily the 9 days. You might still just be continuing with clean eating. So that would work too. And I'm not really worried about you. Let's put it that way. I want to see the ladies who have never done this before, make sure they are ready to go. Lucy, can you tell us how to use the essential oils? Yes. So, Mariam, this is my first time. Oh, then I have two Mariams. Okay, then Mariam. Okay, hang on. I'm going to answer Lucy's question. I apologize, Mariam. I have two Mariams this time. One who did it before and one who's doing it new. Let me just answer Lucy's question. So when you get the symptoms, and those can be headaches, like really, really bad headaches. They can get really, really bad. I'm giving you a heads up. Headaches, fatigue, body aches, runny nose, flu-like symptoms. Those are the things that you would use these oils for, all right? So you want the lavender oil and you want there's other symptoms, but these are the ones you would use the oils for. Lavender and peppermint essential oils, and you want what we call a carrier oil. So whenever you're using essential oils, you want to make sure that you don't ever apply them directly on your skin. They're very, very potent, and in order for them to be super effective, you need to use what's called a carrier oil, which basically carries the oil through your skin and inside your body. So that can either be coconut oil, almond oil, jojoba oil. You could even use olive oil if you have that at home. And you want to put a little bit of the carrier oil in your palm, like a nice amount. And then you want to put 2 to 3 drops of the lavender, 2 to 3 drops of the peppermint, and mix them in together. And then if it's a headache you have, massage it in all over your forehead. Careful not to get it near your eyes because the peppermint can burn, can sting. Massage in. I also like for headaches, go behind my ears, do the back of my neck, and do all of here. That's if you have a horrible headache or you're just feeling tired. Also, if you have a runny nose or if you have sinus issue and your sinus starts to act up, it's great for that. I would put a couple drops of, if you have sinus, put a couple drops of just the peppermint right here and right here. Again, careful not to get it into your eyes. Also, I would do the same thing on the bottoms of your feet. So if you're doing this at night and you're about to sleep, massage a little bit on the bottom of each foot. If you have a certain body part that's achy, massage it directly into that body part. And you can keep reapplying this mixture as often as you need. It's not like a medication, and it's not like topical creams and things like that where you have to wait because you can only take a specific dose. Because these are botanicals, they're plants, there's no danger. Once you put them and you start to feel the effect and then the effect starts to wear off, you can reapply again. All right. Mariam, all right, Mariam, first time Mariam, walk me through why you haven't done any of this yet. Walk me through it, please.
Hi, Donna. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, I can hear you.
Hi. Well, actually, it's a mix of many things, but I'm working, moving, and at the same time, I have a big problem reading. I have ADHD since I was a kid, and I don't get myself, like I'm at the moment. I just stopped my ADHD medication after so many years, and I feel the difference in focus, and it's taking me double the effort to work and double the effort to read and even to focus with you and stuff like that. So I'm just trying and also moving and stuff like that. But I'm somehow like trying to get myself into this mindset somehow, and at the same time, like I have the plan. Okay, tomorrow I'm starting. I haven't started the past few days except for like few conscious thoughts, but no actions.
What are
And
what are the conscious thoughts? Tell me.
like I realized how I'm eating. That I knew, I've always known I'm not eating right. It's not that it's not a surprise or something, but I've just been a bit conscious about like really الحاجات اللي عرفت القطها when you were speaking, like coffee, stuff like that. But to be honest, I haven't read. My plan is actually to have a friend of mine help me read tonight. But let's see. Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. You've already created a plan for yourself. You're not just deciding that this is not going to happen. So that's amazing. Let me just give you another tool to simplify for you. If the reading is, you feel like right now it's too much, leave the reading from the guide aside. Okay. The reading from the guide is the explanation into the process, how it happens, explanation of the phases and all of that. And it's important, but I also need you to be taking action. So the easier thing to do, and then that leaves you sort of open to reading the guide at your leisure, is to follow just the eating schedule. So the eating schedule is not a lot of reading. The eating schedule is just basically a day-by-day plan. It shows you what you have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner on each day. And includes, with the exception of the first 3 days, which is you choose your own recipes, it includes the recipe typed in for you. So leave the guide behind right now. You'll get to it. And maybe after that, you can just read 2 pages at a time of the guide. Focus on the eating schedule, okay? Because the eating schedule and the shopping list, so at least you can have your groceries ready for tomorrow, for one day. Take it one day.
Where can I find the eating schedule and the grocery list?
It was in your first email, the first email that I told you to save.
Okay.
Okay, when I said save this email, in that you have all of your documents to download. All right, you have the guide. So disregard the guide for now. And then the next one is your eating schedule. Click on that. And that is what is the simplified version of how to do this program. Eat this and don't eat that. It's all in that document, and it's shorter, and it's basically just recipes and a schedule. So I would focus on that tonight. If your friend is coming over to help you, focus on that. Decide on, because the first 3 days, you know, you have a little bit of flexibility in terms of your lunch and dinner meals. I would choose even one meal that you're going to repeat for lunch and dinner, lunch and dinner, lunch and dinner for those first 3 days. Don't complicate your life. Look through the recipes, look at the one, see the one that sounds the most appealing to you, or the one that's the easiest to make, and you repeat that one for the first 3 days. Lunch and dinner, lunch and dinner, lunch and dinner. If you feel like you need a bit more variety, pick one for lunch and pick one for dinner. And that's all I want you to do today. Look through day 1, day 2, and day 3 of the eating schedule and get your groceries for day 1 even, and that's it. And leave the guide. The guide is long, the guide is lengthy. I mean, I have ladies who do everything on schedule, do everything on time, and they complete the program and don't actually get around to reading everything in the guide. That's fine. It doesn't mean that you have failed. It doesn't mean that you haven't, kept up. The guide is packed full of information. It's there for you to be able to refer to also regularly. Once you're done with the program, you might forget things. You might want to renew refresh your awareness around something. So it's there as a reference for you to have. Nobody gets everything the first time. So that's fine. So don't worry about that. Focus on the eating schedule, and by tonight, make sure you have your groceries set for your meals for tomorrow. And that's the only thing that you need to do today.
Perfect. Thank you. That makes it more simple. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Anything else I can support you with? Mariam?
No, thank you. I'm good. Thanks a lot. This was very helpful.
Okay, you're welcome. Randa, there are 2 recipes for the berry smoothie. Which one should we make for the first 3 days? The basic one, which is berries, mango, coriander, orange, that one. And that's the one you're going to use the whole time. Marwa, can you suggest tomorrow's meals just for me to understand better? I understand I start by lemon water. Yes. Green juice, celery, cucumber. Yes. And the fruit smoothie. Yes. Then for lunch, my choice of the clean eating, same for dinner, plus a portion of meat or chicken. Yes, exactly. Perfect. You know exactly what to do. I don't need to suggest anything. You know it exactly. That's exactly what you do. Mariam, where can I find it? What are you referring to? The eating schedule that's in that first email. Lucy said yes. Marwa, we can snack on fruits and veggies. Yes, exactly. And your herbal tea in the evening, the ones that I mentioned. Yes, exactly. Did I miss anything? Make sure there's something in the Q&A. Can I use acai berry for the smoothie? Yes, but you want to make sure that it doesn't have sugar. I think some of the ones you find in the market have sugar. If not, you can just make the green smoothie that I posted in the group as an alternative. Can we replace celery and blueberry with something else? Celery you can replace with cucumber. You can have pure cucumber juice, and blueberry you can, there's a smoothie, I can share that with you. A smoothie recipe, a green one instead of the berry one. I can do that. What is a small portion of protein for salmon and shrimp? So salmon, if you buy the ready-made portioned salmon, that's it, that's a portion. If you're looking at any animal protein, you're talking about like the size of your palm, so like one chicken breast, one fillet of red meat, one salmon fillet. Shrimps, I would say you want about 250 grams, depending on the size of the shrimp. That could be just 4 or 5 big shrimps, right? Or a whole bunch of small ones, but about 250 grams. You say not to consume fats or nuts until dinner time. What about avocados? Same. So even though avocados are great fats, really good fats, they're still a fat. We want to relieve your liver of any kind of fat, like having to manage, break down, process any kind of fats first thing in the morning. So 12 onwards, and then from Sunday, no fats or nuts at all. What are the guidelines for the morning snacks? In general, for the whole program, anytime you want a snack, fruits is your go-to. Anything you have, you know, where I say apples and dates, you want to make sure that you stick to that and you have your apples and dates first, because that's a medicinal dose that's really important for cleansing the liver. Outside of that, if you're still hungry, you still need other snacks, go for any other fruit of your choice. Any fruit. There isn't a single fruit that's off or that's not allowed. You want to have another banana, you want to have more dates, you want to have another apple, you want to have an orange, you can do whatever you want. And specifically in the morning, you want to keep it to fruits, because if we're talking between 6 and 12, if it's the first 3 days and you want to snack between 12 and 6, those are the 3 days where you can choose some of the dessert and snack options that are in the clean eating guide. So there's like the protein balls, there's a couple of like dessert recipes. You can have those as snacks from 12 onwards. Cookie, anyone found Brussels sprouts? Nope. If you don't find Brussels sprouts, use cabbage, either red or green. Use artichokes. Wonderful replacement for cabbages. Artichokes. Use zucchini. Use bell peppers. Use I think I said them all. Green peas, green beans. All of that works. Apples and dates together. Apples and dates are together. You're going to notice as you go through the program that I say apples and dates. It's not apples or dates. It's 2 apples with, I think, 4 dates minimum for your snack time together. Noha, who is it? Oops. It's scrolling up. Are we allowed potatoes the next 3 days? Yes. I found them in Gourmet. Wow, she found them in Gourmet. Perfect. Can I take remedies while detoxing? If you're talking homeopathic, yes, homeopathic remedies are fine, because those are all natural. Anybody else? Rihem, go ahead. Nope. You didn't really have your hand up. Lucy and Delia, do you have your hands up for a question, or just you have your hands up from when I asked you to put your hands up? Okay. Eggplant substitutes for Brussels. Yes, you can use eggplants. So any vegetable, eggplants, zucchini, green beans, artichokes. Remember that the ones that are in the plan are just the ones that are the most potent for the liver. The Brussels sprouts, asparagus, broccoli, they're just the most potent, and they're going to go the deepest, the quickest. So but every single fruit and vegetable is cleansing and detoxing. Okay. So that's not to say that, you know, the other ones are going to be problematic, or you're going to be doing something wrong. You find eggplants, use them. And there's no, and we also don't have this issue of nightshades, right? The whole issue of stay away from potatoes, bell peppers, eggplant, all of that. Again, that's another myth. So bring those in, right? If you want to put tomatoes, I don't know if I put them, I can't remember, because I can't put every single vegetable and fruit into the plan, right? So we just use the ones that are the most potent, but you can add things to the plan. Start with the basics and then add to them. You can't find the basics, substitute with all the vegetables that are available to you and easiest for you to purchase. Can I use black beans canned? No. So nothing that comes in a can, hopefully for the rest of your life. You don't want anything that comes in a can. You don't want anything that comes in a package. You don't want anything that sits on a supermarket shelf, you know, for months and months and months before you buy it, and it's still considered, you know, food. None of that packaged, processed stuff. You want to think fresh. When you go into the supermarket, really what you want to evolve your shopping experience into is you go straight for the fruits and vegetables section, pile up your cart with fruits and vegetables, then skip. Usually it's the middle section that's filled with the canned stuff, the processed food, the chips, the cookies, everything that comes in a package is usually in the middle. Fruits and vegetables are usually on the outskirts. So you want to make a beeline for the fruits and vegetables, pile up high fruits and vegetables, and then make a beeline for the protein section. This is general guidelines, right? Get your good protein. And ideally, that's how you want to evolve to eat. Things that grow on a farm, live and eat on a farm, and you would just take them straight from the farm, and they would look the way they look on the farm as they do on your plate. Obviously, animals have to be slaughtered first, but you know what I mean. Lucy, on the lawn garden, how do you feel about canned tuna? Again, it's canned. If you can get the fresh tuna steaks, they taste a lot better. And definitely they don't have the issues of being canned. Every once in a while, though, you want canned tuna. I would recommend in Egypt, we have the ones that are canned in, the brand is called Rio Mare, I think Rio Mare. And those are the ones that have a least toxic interior. So there's like no chemicals that leach into the tuna from the can. But there's a general worry with any tuna, canned or fresh, of mercury. So you want to find, I do believe that, I think our fresh tuna from the Red Sea, I do believe it's one of the mercury-less tunas of the world, I believe. But in all cases, in general, you want to taper down. So let's say everything you're eating is fresh, and you're eating all the fresh fruits and vegetables every single day, and you're getting, you know, all your, you know, if animal protein works for you, and you get chicken or you get meat, and it's all fresh, and everything you're eating is fresh, and then you decide to have canned tuna, because this is where you're going to start thinking, like, in the bigger scheme of things, of course it's fine, right? But if you're eating canned tuna, and you're eating packaged food, and you're drinking 3 cups of coffee, and you're having bread, and you're having cheese, and you're having chips, and you're having chocolate, and you're having all the things, right? Then that canned tuna is just going to add to this toxic load in your body. This is how you figure out what your baseline is. And that's what all of you are going to be doing in this process, is understanding what your baseline is that you're going to move forward in your life with when it comes to food. Everybody's going to have a foundation of fruits and vegetables. Everybody. Beyond that, some of you will be able to tolerate all animal protein, no problem. I don't know if you saw my story on Instagram this morning. I eat red meat. It's an instant night sweat. And I've experimented, and I've tried, and I've done all sorts of things. I still have it. When I have fish, nothing happens. I can eat fish every day. I'm not going to get a night sweat. That's just how my body reacts. So you're going to see, maybe you just never want to give up red meat or never give up chicken, even if it gives you some night sweats. You get to decide that. Let's say you try to go for beans. Maybe you really love lentils, you really love beans, and you experiment with that, but they still bloat you, or you eat them, you still feel drained and tired after, because they can do that. Then you know that that's something you can have every once in a while, not something you eat every single day. But as long as you're keeping within the fruits, vegetables, plant protein, animal protein, things that come from the farm, and you're figuring out the portions and the frequency that works for you. Like, I can't eat any beans at all. Like, even the fresh dried ones, I bring it home, I soak them overnight, cook them, doesn't work for me. For me, it's like lots and lots of fruits, lots and lots of vegetables, and 1 portion of animal protein a day. I figured it out. I can also have a little bit of coffee every day. I figured it out. I can do all of that and be symptom-free. No aches, no pains. My period is pain-free. My period is insignificant. It comes and goes as if I don't have it. There's no cramps. There's no discomfort. If I don't have red meat, there's no night sweats. So each one of you is going to have her, how you're going to create this foundation for yourself. Like, what are the things that need to stabilize for you? And then once they stabilize and you're symptom free, then what are the things that trigger those symptoms back? And it could be the type of food that you're eating and the frequency. So there's a combination. It's not necessarily that you have red meat once. You could have it once and you're fine, but then you have it maybe 3 days in a row, and on the 3rd day it gives you a night sweat. So there is going to be a process of trial and error here. In the clean eating guide, can I substitute anything I can't find or don't like? More or less, yeah, as long as you're within fruits and vegetables categories, yes. Can I substitute kale or chia seeds with other vegetables? So the straight substitution for kale is spinach, because they're the same family. You can't find kale, use spinach. You can't find spinach, use kale. Chia seeds, I don't know that you can substitute chia seeds, because if you're making the chia pudding, if you're making the pudding anyway, nothing is going to make the pudding like the chia seeds. To make the chia pudding, it has to be chia seeds. So either omit that recipe or just go ahead and have the chia seeds. Anybody else? Let me check here. What about blood pressure medicine? Remember, any medications that are prescribed, so something your doctor has written out for you, that stays. Any supplements, optional supplements, you just decided to take B12, magnesium, whatever it is, all of those you remove. Only medicine, if you have obviously high blood pressure, your doctor has prescribed it, or you're on diabetic medication, your doctor has prescribed it, or you are taking, anything that's prescribed, you take it. If at any point, because what we're doing with this plan is we're getting to the root of why you have blood pressure, why you have diabetes, why you have an autoimmune, and over time, and as long as you follow this program, you're going to clear the inflammation that created this condition. So your conditions will improve. So let's say you decide in a month or 6 weeks or 3 months down the line that you want to stop your prescribed medication. Even if you decide you want to stop it, you can't stop it on your own. You need to do this under doctor's supervision and taper off the medication. Zubeida, well, may I eat whole fruits instead of juice and smoothies? 500 milliliters is too much in one shot, and add a cup of celery after half an hour, then a smoothie another half hour. So here's what you can do. No, I want you to have the juice in the smoothies. They serve a very specific purpose. I don't know if you watched my video yesterday or the day before. I talk about why. It's to relieve your digestive system. Your digestive system is already a juicer and a blender. Already, you have a built-in juicer and blender. Anytime you eat anything, goes into your system, your body has to blend whatever you've eaten, and then it has to juice it, as in it has to extract what it needs and eliminate what it doesn't need and keep what it does need. But our systems are tired. Our systems have been blending and juicing a lot of stuff our entire lives. And most of the stuff has not been optimally healthy stuff. So our systems have had to work overtime. It's very different. experience for your digestive system when it has to break down and juice and blend and an apple than when it has to break down a pizza or a burger or junk or chips or any of that. Bread, cheese, any of the foods on the inflammatory list. So our systems are tired. Part of the way we facilitate healing for the liver and your digestive system is to give it pre-juiced, pre-blended foods, and we do that first thing in the morning. And remember that the morning time is so key because your liver has been resting and regenerating all night. We don't want to shock it in the morning when you wake up and you start, requiring fuel. So the best way to do that is with smoothies and juices, because you give your body all the incredible vitamins and minerals and live hydration and enzymes, but you give it to your body in a way where the body has to do nothing. All it has to do is absorb. It doesn't have to blend, it doesn't have to juice, it doesn't have to work, which means then it opens up your digestive system to healing. It lets it rebalance. It gives it opportunity to rest. And when it rests, it heals. Plus, it gives you more intense energy. So if you consume an apple or an orange, or let's say all the ingredients in the smoothie, and you consume them whole, by the time your body breaks it all down and gives you the energy, it might take like an hour and a half. But when you drink it already pre-digested, so to speak, in your smoothie, the energy happens in 10 minutes, literally 10 minutes. So you do need to do that. The quantity is a lot, but it is a medicinal dose. You can take your time with it. You don't have to gulp the 500 milliliters down and then wait half an hour and gulp the celery down. Take your time with it, or have half the quantities of both. The reason I say 30 minutes, that's a minimum time. So I don't want it any less than 30 minutes. The celery needs time to work inside your body before you can add something else. So the 30 minutes is a minimum. It can be longer. So 30 minutes and drink it slowly, and then have your smoothie. If you can't finish the smoothie in one shot, have half and wait like another 2 hours, and you can have the rest, the other half, as a snack. But it is a medicinal quantity. All right. Another question here. Then I feel a bit confused. Can you create us a calendar with which recipes we should follow in each phase? Yeah, that is your eating schedule, Mona. You do have a calendar. It's called the eating schedule in your documents. In your first email, it does exactly that. It's a calendar. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 with each meal. The only thing it doesn't include are the meals in the first 3 days, because you get to choose those. Starting Sunday, it tells you exactly the meal and the recipe. So go and take a look at that. Maro, when I'm out with friends, what can I eat? A plate of sauteed vegetables with 1 portion of chicken. So very unpopular opinion I'm going to share with you here. Take time out the next 9 days. Take time out. Don't go out. Don't go anywhere to eat. This is a time for you to really, really, really focus on your healing. Yes, you can go out and have a plate of sauteed vegetables with a portion of chicken roast. Yes, but here's the issue with eating out in any single restaurant that you're going to go to anywhere in the world. All the restaurants, even if you're having sauteed vegetables, all the restaurants use seed oils. They all use corn oil. They all use sunflower oil. They will all use canola oil. They all use the cheapest oils. So even if you go out and have a super healthy sauteed vegetables with grilled chicken, you're going to get the oils, which is going to interfere with your detox. So for the next 9 days, I mean, we've been out. We've done all the going out. We've done everything, right? It's time to, I want to say, sort of protect your energy while you're going through this healing process. Protect yourself from, whether that's getting oil in your food when you are working really hard to detox and it's going to throw it off. Whether you want to protect yourself from people who might criticize you or wonder what you're doing or mock what you're doing, because that's also going to happen. Protect your energy. It's 9 days of the deep detox, and then after which you get to decide how you want to move forward. We'll talk about it later, but you owe it to yourself. It's 9 days. Anybody can do anything for 9 days. You can stay home and not go out for 9 days. And again, be open to that experience. It's a new experience. If you're somebody who always goes out, You never ever stay home. Open yourself up to the experience of taking care of you, focusing on you, making yourself the priority, and see how that feels. And then there's going to be plenty of time to go out when we're done. Also, when you say do not consume fats until dinner time, does this mean consume fats at dinner time only? No, you can have them anytime from 12 p.m. until dinner time. So you can have, that's why you can have, if you want animal protein at lunch, you can do that. You want to have avocado at lunch, you can do that. And then the same at dinner time. Yes. The reason I recommend mostly dinner time is, or at least like, if you only decide to have it once a day, then make it dinner time so that you stay full longer, because the animal protein and especially in the first few days when you're going through the detox symptoms, and if you're somebody who's used to nighttime snacking, you want to feel fuller in your last meal to avoid needing to snack or to avoid feeling like you're hungry. I think Mona, go ahead.
Hi, Dana.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask, Anna, I'm going to be removing, I already checked this with you. I might be removing the beans and legumes. I'm going to try the first few days and see how I feel. But I know they bloat me, but I'll try bardo because I haven't.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I mean, I would say they're not essential, right? Beans and legumes are not essential. So.
But this is my question. You know, is it going to affect me? The first 3 days, I'll probably keep my animal protein.
Yeah.
بس بعد كده I'm not gonna be having يعني if I remove دول, is it gonna be an issue that I'm gonna be having less protein?
No,
because most recipes have either beans or legumes or كده.
Yeah.
أنا قصدي after the 7, 8 يعني after the days where we're also not having that, and then we go back, right? So
Yeah.
when we go back, am I gonna be able to bring back the animal protein ولا لأ?
Yes, you will be able to once we're done with the 9 days. Beans, lentils, legumes, all of those are not essential. Like my recommendation would always be to someone to reintroduce a little bit of animal protein first before introducing beans, because even though, and as you see with me, red meat is problematic, even though, but that's just because of my particular liver, my particular situation. Our body still recognizes animal protein more readily than it recognizes beans and legumes and all of that, because, and you just have to see sort of in nature the extent to which you have to prep something in order to eat it sort of tells you to what extent and the frequency that you should be eating that food. Animal protein, I mean, now we just go and get it from the supermarket, but in ancient time, they had to go hunt it. It took a time, find an animal, hunt the animal, bring the animal, slaughter the animal. So it wasn't something that you were meant to consume a lot of because it wasn't easy to have access to it. With beans and legumes and things, you have to find it, you have to soak it overnight, and sometimes soak it over and over and over again before you cook it. So again, not an easy process, unlike a fruit that you pick off a tree and just eat, and lots of raw vegetables you can just eat in their current state. So that makes you have to reevaluate the things that we're meant to consume a lot of, the things that we have easy access to and require the least amount of preparation. So having said that, animal protein is much more easily in an ideal body, right, that hasn't been built up with toxins and livers are weak, can be broken down, and there's the amino acids and things and the proteins in animals that our bodies need and recognize. There really isn't much in beans and grains in general, rice, bean. They're very low on nutrition. Like they don't really add, okay? Plus they have something called phytic acid, all the grains, something called phytic acid, which interferes with the way your body absorbs nutrition from all your other food. So you might be eating like super, super healthy. And I've actually seen this with clients. They have food every single morning for breakfast and a pretty healthy, non-inflammatory plan the rest of the day. And then they suddenly became severely anemic, even though they're having food every single day, which is supposedly an incredible source of protein and iron, But food is also full of phytic acid. And if you're eating it and any other bean every single day, and a lot of vegetarians and vegans will do this, it's going to deplete your body of other nutrients because it gets in the way of your body absorbing other nutrients. So that's not to say you can never have beans or legumes again, but they're not a priority. They're not healing. They really will not take your health forward. They're not necessarily going to take your health back either, but they're not, it's not like a fruit or vegetable. Let's put it that way. There's no way near the healing powers that they have. So don't worry if you don't need them again, and don't worry if you prefer animal protein to the beans and the grains.
Thanks. Okay, طب I have one more question.
Go ahead.
You told me to stick to the greens, which I will, but I'm just asking this again because you said something that you hadn't said before. I think I kind of know how many, يعني I can have salads with like fresh greens وكده once or twice مثلا a week. But if I have مثلا salads 3 days in a row, I'll هتعب. Should I, like, if I do the salads, I know that there's scrubbers and I want to get the best out of it, بس لو تعبت, should I saute مثلا my spinach a bit, بتفرق معايا, like if it's a little bit كده softer, يعني if it's a bit, مش لازم تبقى 100% cooked.
Yep.
But if it gets كده a bit softer, I can digest it better. Should I do that as I feel, يعني, ولا?
Yes. Let's take it. Yes. Let's take it day by day. Let's take it one day at a time and see how that works for you.
Okay.
But that could definitely, that, and as well, and I mentioned this before, if any of you start to feel strong bloating, even from the cooked vegetables, blend your cooked vegetables into a soup. So basically do to your vegetables what we do with the smoothie, which is to simplify the digestive process by pre-blending, pre-juicing, so to speak. All right, so that's
so
another way.
That, or I can also, مثلا, instead of the salad, of course I'll ask you before, but ممكن instead of the salad, مثلا, I can have a smoothie.
You can do that also. Yeah, some of you have asked if you can actually double up on the smoothie and have it for breakfast and lunch. You can also do that. You can also do that.
Well, any smoothie we pick, or do we need to ask you which one?
You need, for the 9 days, I double up the berry one, stick to the berry one. And if you can't find the ingredients, right? If you can't find the ingredients, then double up on the one that I posted in the group.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Let me see a couple more questions. Can we still add the animal protein to the meal at dinner, even if it contains legumes or quinoa? Only for the first 3 days, but ideally after that, and we get into that later towards the end of the program about sort of food combinations, what foods are optimal to be mixed together and what foods are not. Typically, animal protein does not go well with legumes, with quinoa, or with fruits very soon after you eat them. They have different digestive times, and this can create indigestion, it can create bloating, it can create constipation. But for the first 3 days, because we're easing the body into the deep process, if you want to do that, you can. In all days, we don't eat anything after 7 p.m. Yes, that's correct. Because we're recalibrating your body's natural rhythm. The body's natural rhythm is you sleep by 10, wake up between 5 and 7. That's how the body wants you to work. We've completely thrown this out the window. We want to stay up late, we want to eat late, and then we want to wake up early, or we want to wake up late. We've thrown our natural rhythms off. So part of what we're doing, without you maybe even noticing, is recalibrating your body's natural rhythm. So stop eating by 7, bedtime by 10, because you need to stop eating 3 to 4 hours before bedtime so that the liver can regenerate and rebalance overnight, and then you wake up and start the cycle. So it's very, very important that, yes, you stop eating by 7 p.m. Can you also send the important info on the group to the email? I can't guarantee that I can do that, Medium. There's a ton of info on the group. I'll send you this recipe because you didn't see the recipe, but like what happens on the group, it's virtually impossible to, especially as we get into it, there's going to be a lot of Q&A, a lot of conversation. It's virtually impossible to replicate that in an email, but I will send you the smoothie recipe, which is the replacement in case you can't find berries. All right. Couple here. Can I drink ginger right before I sleep? If it doesn't wake you up to go to the bathroom, yes, that's okay. That's all right, because ginger is a natural digestive aid. Yes, that would be okay. But you don't want to ever drink something that's going to interrupt your sleep also. So if you're used to drinking it and you know it wakes you up, then no, drink it at 7:30 or like, drink it after the herbal teas. Don't do something that is, you need deep sleep. You need uninterrupted deep sleep. I take hair vitamins because I had a massive hair loss in summer. I went to the pharmacist when I traveled and they gave me one. Shall I finish the course or stop it? Hair vitamins was prescribed more than a year ago. With all the supplements, the reason we're stopping them is because, like I told you, all the supplements, 99.9% of supplements on the market that we all buy all over the world are synthetic versions filled with additives and fillers that are synthetic and toxic. And so we're trying to help the liver here. So we want to take a load off as much as we can. And these vitamins, believe it or not, can sometimes do more harm than good. So Randa, share with me, please, take a photo of the list of ingredients in your hair pills, and then I can give you a better answer that way. They might be great. They might be perfectly natural. Do we have a specific time frame between meals and snacks? For example, can we have a meal snack every 1.5 to 2 hours? Yes, I want you to leave no more than 2 hours between a snack and a meal during the whole process. And in general, if we go longer than 2.5 hours without eating, and I don't mean eating like you go and have a meal. I mean like have an apple, have 2 dates, the body goes into stress mode and cortisol levels increase because the body thinks you're about to go into starvation mode. So the snacks are, and everybody says you shouldn't be snacking, you need to like teach your metabolism to like work harder. Yeah, but what are you snacking on? So if the old way was you're going to snack on chips, or you're going to snack on crackers, or you're going to snack on rice cakes, then yeah, that's detrimental. But if your snack is fuel, right? If your snack is an apple and dates, that's going to give you energy and that's going to help cortisol, that's a different story. So no more than 2.5 hours max between your meals. Do not go hungry. At no point are you supposed to be hungry in this program. You're going to feel hungry the first few days as a detox withdrawal symptom. So you're going to feel hunger because that's going to be your cravings calling out to you. Your cravings are going to say like, I want my bread, I want my cheese, I want my coffee. You're going to interpret that communication as hunger, and you're going to feel it's hunger, but it's not hunger. It's a strong craving that's running the show up here, taking over. Once you get over the craving, and usually in terms of physiologically, you get rid of a craving within 3 to 5 days. It's out of your body. Your body doesn't crave that chemical anymore or that sugar anymore. After the 5 days, it's literally out of your body. Whatever cravings you have or hunger is emotional. 100% emotional, and we're going to get into that. So don't go hungry. You're not supposed to be hungry at all. Soline, go ahead.
Hi, Dana. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Listen, I don't know if you covered this already because I had to join a bit late, but I wanted to ask regarding the, I teach classes, so I exert a lot of effort every morning, and I wanted to make sure that there's no issue with working out, even in the first couple of days, and if I can, or you recommend to take the smoothie post, pre, or maybe take one before, one after. Is that a specific recommendation for working out, or not really?
So you might, all of you, find that one of the detox symptoms is fatigue, and that's not going to be because you're doing something wrong. It's not going to be because there's something wrong with your body. It's not because there's something wrong with the program. It's because detoxing requires energy, and your body's going to be putting all that energy into getting rid of the toxins. The other reason we feel fatigue is that once you stop taking in the inflammatory foods, and your liver can then sort of, you jumpstart it to release toxins, it's not an automatic process. So it's not like we pump the toxins out of the liver and then they're, eliminated out of your body on the spot. They sort of float around your bloodstream for a little bit as the body slowly, gradually flushes them out over days and days and days. So while you are going through that process, and while those toxins are, swimming around your bloodstream, that's why you might experience fatigue. So it's not like you're under fueled, and it's not like you're not getting enough to work out. It's because your body is actually working really hard at a very specific process. So that's why I do the first 3 days, I do them over a weekend so that if you need to rest, you can rest. If you don't have to go to work, you don't have to do anything, you get like the bulk of it out in the weekend. But let's say you do want to work out on Friday, on Saturday, and obviously the rest of the week. I would recommend you do your lemon water and your celery juice first, work out, then come back and have your smoothie. The celery, once you get rid of a caffeine addiction, the celery it gives a lot of energy, lots and lots of energy. And just getting rid of the coffee, you're going to tap into your own body's energy. You're going to be like so surprised at how much energy your body has on its own without coffee in the morning. But just don't be alarmed if you do wake up and you're a little bit more tired than what you're used to and you feel like you can't work out. It's not a problem. Does that answer your question?
Perfect. Yes, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anybody else have another question for me? Mona, go ahead.
أنا مش لاقية in the guide that you say a lot of cauliflower rice, but is there a recipe for it somewhere that I'm not seeing?
It should be in the clean eating guide.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, ladies, remember, you are incredibly powerful, every single one of you. You've proved it to yourself over and over and over again, and continue to prove it to yourself in every single area of your life. In every single area, you're a success. In every single area, you make success non-negotiable. In every single area, even when you face a challenge, you figure out a way to get through the challenge and come out on the other side. You have the skill sets. You know how to do it. You're just going to transfer those skill sets and that mindset of something is non-negotiable, I'm doing it. You're going to transfer that to this experience. You're going to transfer that, and you're going to wake up with that tomorrow morning, and you are going to embark on the most incredible journey of your health and your life. And I can't wait to see you all at the end of this month. Let's put it that way. All right, ladies, I will be available throughout the weekend, as I told you, because I know that the first 3 days are when you're going to have the most symptoms, or when you're going to have, the doubts are still going to come in there. And I will be here, but I won't be checking the group and I won't be checking email. So please either, sorry, I don't check email. I do check the group. So message me in the group or send me a message on Instagram. All right, ladies, you've got this. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you all again tomorrow, same time, same place.
Thank you, Dana. You too.
All right.